Right, let's get stuck into it then, shall we? You only got two right, but both of you only got two right last week. Yeah, I mean the Dragons did kind of fuck things for everyone, didn't they? They like look at this. That might be the lowest successful rate ever. 3% voted for. Yeah, let's all blame the Dragons. Makes us feel better about ourselves. Right, Titans versus the Valks. Well, hey, I got one right. Woohoo! We're starting to, this is the weird thing about the Valkyries. Every week they have this amazing percentage. I don't know whether it's just like a bit of old name power. People see Rafa or something like that. But they always get like 80+%. And I know the Titans weren't doing too hot at that point, but I think that was a fairly easy prediction. I mean, there was an argument for maybe Johnny was going to pop off and rag on Scary D in the jungle, but no, they looked good. The first game was actually pretty close for a bit. It was really back and forth. It was really sloppy from the Titans. I thought like they could have won it a lot easier. I think showing a bit of their shakiness, but yeah, I don't think this one was too big of a surprise. No one can vote against Ducky. He's too lovely. I fully agree. You're a Titans hater. I guess that's why you're getting two right. Yeah, Ducky. How can you vote against the Duck, man? And that's the Duck, comma man, not the Duck man. Yeah, so I think that one was fairly self-explanatory. Yeah, not the most shocking game in the world. But then we move on to this one. Ba-ba-da-ba. My first wrong prediction of the week. So there was quite the percentage might say 5%, but there were a lot of people in this chat who were saying that they were going bolts. They really thought this was going to be bolts a week to shine. And like I understood where they were coming from, and like a part of me thought, oh, maybe this could be their week, but I also thought it's not going to happen. They are coming together, but I thought they've looked generally a bit more sloppy than I expected. And the Dragons have got about 5 deaths between them over like 6 games, so I thought I could see why people would think it's a good matchup. Really aggressive bolts. Maybe they'll pressure the Dragons, but the reason why I went for Dragons here was because I remembered Worlds last year where that Renegade squad, who were just about the same team, only Haddix has changed. Somehow, after having watched that Rossa Pockets video, God knows how that team stayed so together. But yeah, they're basically the same team, and they didn't just lose, they got absolutely railed in like the insanely quickest 3-game set ever. So I was a bit of a hater on this one, but god damn did they play well. Lasbra and Ven especially just went hog wild. Best set, potentially the best set I've ever seen from Lasbra. Ven had a quietly sick set, which was directly inverted to how loud he was on Twitter afterwards. Yeah, it was actually a really good set to watch. I watched it on the last stream if no one saw it. Just sort of watched it through with people in chat and stuff, which was fun. Hello, Matt J. Hello. So yeah, I was surprised by this, but I think Lasbra really nailed the way he's supposed to play against the Dragons, and that is just shut down Sam. He played Circuit and just chased him around the jungle all game long. Like, Sam was just constantly running from Laz, which is predictably not that great of a situation to be in. So yeah, he just basically chased him around with Circuit. Circuit is so mobile, so hard to shut down, does so much damage to an individual target. Chase him around, Sam couldn't do anything, and then the rest of the team just team fought really well. And the Dragons have always had this way of playing where, if they're losing a bit early, they go for their team fights, and fine, okay, usually makes a massive difference. But this week, he just got diffed by Haddix. The Shaddix solo kill and everything. Yeah, pretty brutal stuff. So, very well played to the Bolts. Congrats to them. Golf clap all around. Wasn't a perfect week for them, but a pretty good start. So, it's weird. That's probably the 2 lowest correct percentages of the season. 5 and 3%. Actually, let's have a look. Let's see if there's any lower ones that were correct. Oh, this was a bad week. Nope. 13. Oh, no, that was they lost that. Any other 19% win there, 14% win. God, I can't believe only lost 2-0 to the Valks. How mad is that? But yeah, I think that's the lowest, by far the lowest one. Right. Oh. Yeah, Lasbury is hot and cold. That's always been his thing. Forever and ever. That's always been his thing. But he was hot all set long. He was hot. He was popping off. Yeah. Did pretty damn well. Then, Oni Titans. The longest set of the year by a fucking mile. Hello. I'm not even sure how to stop pronouncing your name. I'm going to call you JVE. Or is there a better way of saying it? I'm going to call you JVE for now. Hello. How are you? We're just going over last week's games and why my predictions were so terrible. 50%. Awful. Oni Titans. This was the one that I was most on the fence about. I hovered over the two for a long time, and it was basically a matter of JV or Velasco. Nice. I'll go for Velasco because that sounds more fancy. Velasco. Yeah, this is the one where I went Onis, but I was really 50-50 on. My eventual position was, if this game went really well for the Titans, then I could see them winning this quite comfortably. Which was correct, but I still thought Oni were going to take it. And after I saw the end of game one, where Onis took it late and won and started to look like sort of old PK, I thought, yeah, this is it. This is them coming together. But Paul just happened. Paul started playing Giannis all of a sudden. Fuck knows where he's pulled that out of, because I've never seen him play that before, but he just looks like a god on it. Just Paul things, man. Paul happened. And the Onis are really, really struggling. Look at this. A lot of people had these down as the sort of hard luck first place this season. They got the same record as the Valkyries. They lost 2-0 to the Valkyries as well. Seems like all the teams stepped up this week, apart from one notable exception. You're right there. Everyone did seem to be playing well. But yeah, Titans are on the up. Scary D is starting to look like a real jungler. I feel like Aurora, he's still really hot and cold, but it's starting to see more Aurora, more of the Aurora that we're used to. But yeah, we'll talk a bit more about the Titans. Oh wait, no. I thought they played another game. Oh no, this was their second game. Yeah, really good week for them. Whoa! Why is my pen so fat all of a sudden? Yeah, they've been waiting for a confidence boost for a while, and I think they finally found it. They've got a really interesting week coming up, though, which we'll talk about shortly. Ah, sweet, sweet tea. Leviathan's Valkyries. Yeah, exactly. I agree. It's insane how he just kind of switches it on. He plays picks up a Scylla. When did he ever play Scylla before Worlds? I don't know, but it's suddenly like the most important pick in the game. Just picks up Giannis and all that kind of stuff. He's just got... That's just Paul, isn't it? But yeah, game one was way closer than I expected. I thought this might be the quickest set of the year. I really did. I thought this is such a hyper-aggressive team, and this is such a non-hyper-aggressive team. I thought they'd run over it, but I think Valkyries played really well game one. It was still, some classic Valkyries kind of... they kept it close, but I said this in the last stream. The closer the game is, the worse it is when you start losing, because you try and play like it's still close, and that you don't turtle up in base, you don't play it safe. And it means that it goes from close, and suddenly just plummets off a cliff, and the game is over. The change comes so quickly. So, yeah, that was closer than I thought, but yeah, a fairly predictable 2-0. Yeah, exactly. I guess I'm a good Scylla. One of the classic. That's gonna be one of my favorite all-time quotes, where he's just casually like, "Oh, yeah, I guess I'm kind of good at it." I'm like, fucking no. That's just Paul, isn't it? That's just Paul through and through. Yes. And then Bolts Kings. I got this one right, but I didn't realize just how good the Kings would look doing it. The Kings, man, as these two kind of go up and down, Leviathans have been consistent, but they looked really sloppy against the Dragons. Dragons looked consistent until this week, where they looked awful. The Kings, man, the Kings have just looked solidly good. Even against the Dragons, where they lost 2-0, they gave them a really good run for their money and took it late, and that's when the Dragons were looking their best. This team are the most well-oiled machine I've maybe ever seen in a kind of newly put together team. Best in the league? I don't think so in terms of like, I think Leviathans are still top. Leviathans and Dragons are still top. But like, they are right up there. And I had them as like sixth at the moment. Yeah, exactly. Twig is everywhere on the map. This is, I've said it 100 times already. If you watch any stream, you've heard me parrot this a billion times. But there's a reason why Twig makes it to so many world finals, man. His teams know what they're supposed to do. They know where they're supposed to be. They're well drilled and oiled and organized. Shouldn't say oiled because that's a bit, a bit weird. But Variety is playing like Season 3 Variety again. We've got Tings, who's just like might be the best mid laner in the league. He's just like insane. Genetics, even on that ping, is just... He seems to be ahead of the game. Like, I feel like where the meta is going to end up is going to look an awful lot like how Genetics is playing right now. And then Nitroid is just chilling in the back. He doesn't really have to do much because his team's popping off. Yeah, Kings still has... So who's on EU for them? It's Genetics and Big Man, I think. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Martin, there's two in there. If Kings manage to beat Dragons and Leviathans, they already lost to Dragons. When do they play Leviathans? Is that this week or have they already played them? Kings Leviathans. Does anyone remember? I don't see it. Oh yeah, they lost there. So they've lost to both of those teams already, which is unfortunate. Because I imagine now they'd want another go at them because they're at their best. So Genetics is going to go. Yeah, imagine Genetics on low ping. I think BMT is either the best or Shinto. I think Shinto is my de facto best, but then you got Horrorwind as well, you got Dardes, you got Paul. How am I not even mentioning Paul in that? Yeah, so... Hey, Vampire, what's up? Yeah, they lost 1-2. I'm trying to remember those games. Oh, so those were the games when the first game of the season, the first game of Leviathans versus Kings, was that game where there was like no fighting at all, and the Kings just won in like the most clean win ever. And then when it got scrappy and fighty in the next two games, Leviathans took it. But it's insane that they had the ability to just take a game out of a team's hands. A team like Leviathans, they just took the game out of their hands without even really doing anything. They were just so well positioned, and they fought in the right places at the right time. They just took the game. Insane. Do they not die at all? That's just insane. Yeah. Exactly. That is true, Vamper. I bet they are absolutely, like, they are so excited to play those teams again, because I reckon they have a damn good shot against either of them. And yeah, Bolts, this is exactly what I think is Bolts' my biggest criticism of the Bolts, is their way they play. They play so well when it's these scrappy fights, and they are, like, you know, playing fast and loose. But when it comes to a team where they're just, you know, organised and on it, the Bolts just crumble a bit. These games were not that close. They had good moments, the Bolts, but I think Kings looked comfortably ahead. Yeah, that's right, Velasco. It's insane. So yeah, the Kings, man. This fat pen. Where's this come from? You cannot underestimate the Kings anymore. I know they're in third, but at the moment, how I see the table is I see the top three of these guys. I see the fourth as this one. I know I'm literally describing the table standings at the moment, but then it's like the table is perfectly summed up how I want to say it. These are the top teams. These are the kind of, you know, challenging for the top teams. These are the up and coming teams, and these are the sort your shit out or you're going to get relegated at the end of the season. You're betting on the Kings, yeah. I mean, the Kings are on the up. If it's like a graph of like the way teams are going, I think it's like this. I know I've got more ups than downs, which is impossible because it means that there's too many teams going up. But yeah, they're so fun to watch, man. Who's everyone's favorite team to watch at the moment? Who is your, like, when you see them playing, you're not going to miss a game? Yeah, I agree, Vamper. I think Scarabs still have a lot to work on. I mean, Titans have a lot to work on as well, but Kings, damn, the Kings would get 3 out of 3. Kings then Bolts, okay. Kings or Dragons, fair enough. Kings or Scarabs. Scarab games are wild, man. They are absolutely wild. Dragons usually, but last week was stressful. It must have been a pretty miserable week for you then. All of them, fair enough. Kings, Bolts then Pool. I hate to break it to you, but Pool isn't a team. But I mean, he basically could be, but I like how I'm picturing you watching the Titans, and every time someone else is on screen, you're like hiding your face, but then as soon as Paul's back, you're watching. Scott says Titans going to be fun to watch and put it together. It's going to be a really good sort of analysis over a season whether they can or not. Because I don't think Radiance ever really did put it together. I know they made it to semi-finals of World, you know, all of that kind of stuff, but I think they had a really up and down season. They did well at LANs, but over the regular season they were all over the place. They had these ups and downs. I never really felt like they properly found where they wanted to be. And it's the most similar team to that this season, so it'll be interesting to see. Yeah, Paul is just a wild player to watch, man. The most naturally talented player I've maybe ever seen. And then finally, that leaves us with this mama of a game. What on earth happened there? What on earth happened there? I'll tell you what happened. SOT and Layers happened, man. Those two are so good. SOT especially has looked like one of the best solos in the league to me this season. It's funny, in the first few games, actually, I thought he was a bit absent. I was thinking, you know, where's the SOT that I was expecting? And then he was playing better than Fine OK this I think Layers was just everywhere. I think the Tsukiyomi looks really good. He made Set look like a good pick again. So good. Boronic stepped up. This is the best set we've seen from Boronic by a mile. I thought he played really well. And I think like I don't really remember either Zap or Panda doing anything, which is funny because they were the ones with the most chatting the most shit on Twitter before and after. But I think for me the most noticeable difference was the jungle. Again, Sam is picking Thor. I said this in the last stream. I love Thor so much, but he's not good. And I think these teams are just going for this focus out Sam strategy, and it just seems to be working. And the fact is that the Dragons love picking off out of position people and just playing the early game really aggressive, but they're doing it against inbound, and it works at first. You know, they in game 3 they got them to 0-3 within like 4 minutes, but then you're burning ults, like 3 ults to kill a level 4 Xing Chan, and he gets you like 200 gold, like less than a creep wave of gold, and then they fight. I remember in game 3 they went and fought the blue buff afterwards, and they just got no cooldowns, and Scarabs just routed them, and suddenly they've got like a 1,000 gold lead, and you're like, wait, but we're ahead in kills. It's like, yeah, but you keep killing the fucking Xing Chan who's got like 2 levels. Hey Alan, what's up, my man? SOT did play out as my knee was so good. Yeah, maybe that'd be interesting to see if Zap sort of is a really good presence for him. He played so well in the team fights. He was just so dangerous. He was in all of the right places, making all the right plays. I know that's a really cliche thing to say, but I was very, very impressed. I think this season it's kind of rare you see solo laners win games. It tends to be coming from other roles, but oh, Velasco, go watch it, my man. Or you can watch it after, whatever you want. They're focusing. Yeah, exactly, Skriz. Exactly. Layers had a pretty free set, I think. Yeah, I would agree, Cynthia Dragon. It's the best Scarabs performance and the worst Jade performance at the same time. But you know what? I said this in the last stream as well. It really bugged me how every time Scarabs had a good fight, they were like, oh my god, these really shit players on this awful team are somehow pulling it together. I don't believe it. These bunch of ragtag backers are somehow pulling. It's like, okay, we get it. They're the underdogs. So you don't have to just like slag them off the whole time. It really made me laugh. So yeah, that was just wild. But man, good to see Layers. I've been waiting for Layers to like enter the league because he's really good. I've been waiting to see it, and yeah, I think we did. Yeah, hairy adapting. People always said that about Wolfie and Vote whenever he put up old rival videos. They're like, oh my god, Wolfie and Vote had hair. What happened to them? Apparently the Dragons are attracting things that wouldn't work in scrims. Where have you heard that from? Because that sounds to me like the sort of thing people say after a loss. Yeah, but can one player carry a team? Because inbound and they made a really sloppy play the rest. I would agree. I mean, I've said quite a lot about inbound in the past, but this was their best game. I think they looked pretty. I think inbound is at his best when he's playing the kind of Rafa style, just like, you know, not playing hyper precise, just being in the right place at the right time. Get him into the fights and he's good. Stop him from roaming the jungle by himself because then he'll just die. Now that Dragons have realized how to play well again, yeah, I wonder if this is going to be the kick in the ass they needed to get their shit together, you know? Because Yeah, I predicted them to have a slump, but I thought it'd come in like week 8, not week 4, and it was a big old slump. So yeah, I don't think you should take much long term from that. Like teams can have bad weeks, you know. I don't think any team is sorry. I don't think any team is perfect all season, so I don't think you can really read into it too much. But I'd advance it. They look like it's a chance to be a 5th, not 4th. Okay. Cheerio and Hazer streams, right? Okay, that's interesting. Dragons are being strange in scrims. I wonder if that's like a mentality thing or an experiment thing. But their comps didn't seem particularly different. I mean, there was stuff like Artemis, which is obviously a bit odd. But then in like game 3, they went back to like classic picks, and they still lost. So, maybe Then that's interesting. I have a really weird clip of Hazer and Sherry. I'm intrigued. This week we'll be telling. It will, which is a very good segue. Excellent. Nike is a fine pick though. Artemis is the weird pick. Nike is fine. I just didn't like Nike in that comp at all. Nike just did not have enough enough pressure, or she was just kind of a big meat shield. How do I think if I go permit, no, I can't. Try and post the link. I don't know. See if I don't know if the spam filter will pick it up. Yeah. Oh, yeah. See, there you go. Straight through. Is this where he's choking himself? Oh, the arrows. Yeah.
Against all teams but one.
Dude, I've been doing that so much more lately.
Oh yeah, I did see
Choking
this.
yourself.
Yeah, like I just.
What, you can't like finish without it? Or?
Wait, what? No, I'm just saying it happened. Okay.
Oh right.
Yeah, Sam just sat there like. Is it me or is Sam like the best stream at the moment? I fucking love I love Sam's streams. I always catch up on them. He's just very chilled. Right, but yeah, Vamper made an excellent segue onto. He said, "This week we'll be telling which is perfect timing for me to go to. Next week is here." Oh, wait, the chat's being fucking cut off, isn't it? Why is it doing that? Don't like that at all. God damn it, this always happens. Right, you might have to... you might have to... Sorry, I just cleared the chat then. Can someone type a long message so I can see if it's getting cut off again? I think I might have just moved off the edge by accident. Lovely message. He's getting bloody cut off, isn't it? Bastard. Well, just keep your messages nice and short then. That's the... You know what? I literally went out of my way to fix this beforehand. And now it's bloody not working. Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to change one little thing quickly. Let's change this to a bit smaller and then hopefully... Right. I'm going to leave that there. Hopefully that should be fine. I made the font a bit smaller, so you should be able to... you should be able to... Oh, there you go. See, there you go. That's working fine. Good. Lovely stuff. Right, week 5. Jade Dragons versus Valhalla Valkyries. Who have you guys got for this? I imagine you're all going Valks. I'd use the big symbol to try and like subliminally trick you into voting for them. I appreciate that long message, by the way. I know it's off topic, by the way, but she was taken in one of the other streams. I picked up a random card and asked chat to guess it, and he got it right. So, you know, you're dealing with Twitch royalty here. Yeah, Valks for sure. Easy win. Easy dub. What do the Valks need to do to win this? I think this is going to be... If Valks want to have a chance in this, they need to have Johnny just go wild. They need to have Ducky hold his own against Fine OK like the other solo laners did before. We have to see Zero step it up and put the pressure onto Horrorwind rather than Horrorwind being absolutely free in the back line, because that's how it was for the first few weeks. And then against Scarabs and Bolts, he did not have a free time at all. And, you know, he had a pretty tough time. So, you know, I imagine that's what I'd be telling them to do. But, you know, telling people to do stuff is a lot easier than just doing it. Yeah, power outage. That's BM. That is BM. Yeah, I think this is a fairly easy one, isn't it? It's going to be Valks. It's going to be... This is what the Dragons... I imagine the Dragons are pretty keen to get this one. It's a good time for them to play them and just basically... Bit of a nice confidence boost after a miserable week. Unless they lose, unless Dragons lose this, and then it will not be a confidence boost. It'll be like a early retirement for Mike, because he's been saying all year it's going to be his worst season. So, you know, maybe we're witnessing it. But no, this is going to be Valks. It's going to be Dragons. A rerun of the worst loss of season 5. Up 10 minutes late. Ooh, I wonder what the rules are this season. Whoa, you guys are talking about the Kings. Hold up. We'll get there eventually. But yeah, I don't think I have anything more to say about this, unless anyone else does. Otherwise, I'll be swiftly moving on to Only Warriors versus the Kings. Only Warriors is currently sitting at bottom in the table. Have 66% of the vote over the Kings in third. What's going on? What are with these? This is the first time the Valks don't have an amazing win percentage as well. There's something fishy going on. I have Kings every step of the way on this one. I think I have Kings about just about everyone in the league at the moment, especially bottom place. I think this is the exact sort of game that Oni would struggle with, even if they'd really got their stuff together. Even if they were really playing at their full potential, I think they'd still struggle against this Kings team. So we're saying it over and over. These guys are going to win. If you just let them do their thing and you don't... I don't even know what the word is. If you don't fight them and if you don't like really aggressively position in the jungle and, you know, fight for objectives, these guys will just choke you out of the game. Just like San Soccer, just like Cherio. It will choke you out the game. And like we saw in game 1 against the Leviathans, if you're not fighting them, they will just win the game. And Oni are a team, from what I've seen so far, that like to take it late and like to, you know, keep themselves in the kind of PK style of playing for the late game. But I just don't think they can afford to do that. So it'll be interesting to see how they try and look when they're playing at their most aggressive again. I think I want to see Fred on a pick that can really fight. I want to see Fred and Dardes on picks that can really fight in the 3v3 fight, because you have Twig, BMT and Genetics roaming as a 3. That's their thing. Genetics will appear all over the map at any time. He's in solo lane with like 3 minutes. He's like got teleport. He's going to be everywhere. So Oni have to be ready for that. They have to be ready for the fact that they're going to have people invading them all the time. This is why you see the Amir picks, which is why you see the Najar picks, because they know, because that's what the Kings want to do. They want to be in your jungle fighting, and they want to have picks that are good at doing that. So I don't want to see these late game hyper carry picks. I want to see picks that can scrap and win fights. What's everyone saying? Some people voted for Onis. I don't know. Kings. Hello Hyper. What's up, my man? Sorry, I was mid monologue. Kings of macro play. Exactly. Kings win. The BMT backpack is very roomy. There's really even room for me in there. Yeah, I want the Onis to step it up too. I want to see the Onis, like the Onis we were all waiting for, you know? Fred on Raven. Man, Fred was the original Raven. When everyone was playing him as a solo laner and stuff, and then Fred was the first one to really bring him into the jungle. And then he became, you know, first pick for a while. Even changed bloody classification in the game, went for Warrior to an Assassin. And Fred was the first one to do that, because the Americans weren't respecting it at first. And then Scream started picking it up and dominating everyone there. And they were like, oh shit, I guess it's actually really good. So yeah, getting back on Raven. Let's see what that's like. Yeah, exactly. Benji and Paul also have huge backpacks. They are bulky. Do I feel I have a bias for Zap teams? Maybe sort of in terms of supporting them, but not in terms of where I rank them. Because, you know, if you saw my pre-season breakdown, I put them as bottom by a mile. Like, there's no like, and it's not even that I'm like biased towards them because I'm supporting them. I've supported just every single team in this league. You know, I've been watching for so long that every single team has players on that I like. So I don't particularly find myself biased towards one team. What I am biased towards are people who, you know, do you know what was a comment that really irked me? I saw on Twitter when Dragons beat. No, when the Scarabs beat Dragons, and someone replies to Zap's tweet back to PandaCat with like, "Oh look, PandaCat got more damage than you." It's like, that is so weak. Like, who gives a shit about damage? They lost. like you would not see that the other way around. If Zap got more damage when the Dragons won, you would not see people like, "Oh look, Zap did more damage than Panda." Well, actually, you might, because people are weird. But like, what shit opinion? Like, who cares about damage? People value damage and pressure way too high. Look at the wins, man. Look who's winning. Have you seen the roster vid on the Sniper Show channel? I have seen the roster vid big time. I was tweeting about it. I was, you know, yeah, that was wild. Do you know what player damage really matters? Player damage does matter when you are the one doing it and you hit that T screen and it says your top player damage. You're all good. That's interesting, Velasco. Bolts have been quite a popular team, I found. I've seen more Bolts jerseys and stuff online than probably many other teams. Maybe Dragons, but... That's interesting. Interesting to hear that. 1 and 7, but 40k damage, then you are doing your thing, my man. Yeah, apparently. Yeah. Yeah, exactly, Matt. What about you? Yeah, that's a horrible feeling. Or when you're support and you find yourself top damage, you're like, oh my god, well, what are my team doing? Like, why are they not doing anything? Yeah, pretty painful. Right, yeah, like I said, oh my god, why does it keep going back to this fat pen? God damn it, the pen smite me down. I think easy win for the Kings. Should be nice and clean. We see just how high they can go. Right, next one. Leviathan Scarabs. Poor Scarabs. They go from playing the Dragons into the Leviathans. Can they upset them second time in a row? Dun 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 dun. No, I don't think they can. Classic new spam multi. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Arena is different. Arena player damage really does matter, I think. But I think Leviathans my current pick for best team in the league. They're just insane. I think Rongyu is playing the best smite in the league at the moment. I think Shinto versus Baronic is a pretty painful mismatch because where you have Harrowwind, who is more happy to be passive. Not passive, but less in your face. Shinto, man, does not play the same way. Shinto will kill you. Panatom will play the sweatiest picks, the ranked picks, and they will crush you with it. They'll play the top picks and they'll beat you with it. So if this isn't a Leviathans 2-0, then that is a massive, massive badge of honor for the Scarabs, because I think when it comes to beating the lower end teams, these guys are going to be the best in the league at it. It's poor. It's sad for the Scarabs because they're on the up, but this is always good. This is good practice, you know. If they're getting close games against the Leviathans, then when it comes to playing against the Valkyries and Titans and stuff again, you know, they can really come back. The Ronnie emoji looks insane. The Ronnie Emoja, the Rongyu Sobek, the Rongyu everything, the Rongyu Amir. Yeah, Yakor, man. What a chad. He's top 2 and he's not 2. God damn. That's bars. Yeah, exactly. They some teams play 1 second, let me just get something up on my screen quickly. Some teams play through their jungle, like, you know, the Valks. Some people play through their solo laner. Some play through mid, and that's these guys. Like, oh my god. They just say, Shinto, have all the farm, press all the buttons because you're a nutcase and you'll win it for us, and he does. So yeah, he's fed every game. Yeah, you thought Jarko was gonna look bad this season? Yeah, exactly. So this was my prediction for the Leviathans. It was that they were going to be good, but not as good because they've lost Netrud, who's really good. They've lost Yakor from solo, who was amazing. And they've taken in someone who's on EU ping, and they've got a role swap. You know, that should not be a better team than what you started with. But what I didn't factor in is that Yakor is just a fucking beast. So yeah. He's just... Shinto is really good. I think Baronic's going to have a really tough time. Yeah, I don't really have much else to say about it. Thinking about matchups, I think Layers and Panatom are going to have some real beef in the jungle. Julio SOT is going to be a really interesting lane to watch, actually. Both of them are playing really well at the moment, and both of them are really hyper-aggressive in lane. I think we're going to see some solo kills here. And I feel like solo kills are always a bit easy when you got a good ping. I'm not just excusing Julio because of that, because I love SOT, but yeah, I think if I was Julio, I'd be already getting my excuses in. Yeah, he's so aggressive, man. Right, anything else to say on that? Or... Oh yeah, sorry, I was going through the matchups, yeah. Shinto and Baronic is a pretty big mismatch. No offense to Baronic, but he's had a bit of a slow start to the season. He's getting better with each game, but Shinto's right at the top of the pile, so yeah. Yeah, I think Rongyu inbound is going to be tough. They love picking Sobek and Yamoja, picking people in the jungle, killing them, running it down, getting pressure, getting leads and winning. And that's what I think it's going to do for the Scarabs. Anyway, that's enough about that. Let's move on to the Titans and the Kings, unless anyone has anything else to say. If Yarkor keeps playing like this, for the... I don't know about GOAT, because there's so much history behind the other players. But, you know, who knows? Who knows how long the league's going to go on for? How long Yarkor keeps popping off? Right, next game. Titans Kings. Ooh. So this is what people were talking about earlier. This is quite a close one. Not in my opinion, but I've seen a lot of people quite torn on this in the chat. You don't know who to pick? I am pretty bloody firmly clicking this button. Like, I have Kings every step of the way here. Don't get me wrong, Titans are on the up, but they are improving, and they want to be playing teams like the Bolts. They want to be playing any of these teams, basically, where mistakes are being made and they can keep the game fast and loose and they can learn and adapt. That is not what you're going to get with the Kings. The Kings are going to... I think Scary's going to have a really tough time here, because I think Twig is going to just sit on him, sit on his face, no, and just, yeah, give them absolute grief. I think... How are Titans going to win this game? I think we've got two of the best mids in the league clashing. Where did Titans win this game? The duo lane, maybe? You tell me. If Twig wins Worlds this year, man, that's a big if. You don't know if you can vote against the Titans backline? Yeah, but I mean, they ain't doing so hot this year. Yeah, so this for me is a pretty easy lock-in for the Kings. Which, if they win both of these games, there's a very good chance they're going to, like... Who are the rest of the teams playing? Oh, they don't have terrible matchups, but it's going to be insane to think that Kings could end up top of the league in the next few weeks. They deserve it, though. They deserve it for the way they're saying. Benji scaring running down solo. Yeah, maybe get variety behind. I think if I'm playing for the Titans, I'm saying, look, Benji's really fucking good. Let's just give him lots of farm. Try and shut down variety, maybe. Let variety go onto really pressure-oriented picks like Arthur, and then take pressure away from him and have someone who's going to contribute less in the team fights. Although Arthur does shitloads in team fights. I don't know what I'm saying, but maybe get him something like Achilles. I don't fucking know. Benji the lead on Cuckoo? Yeah. Well, Genetics just plays risky sometimes. He's just trying new shit. He's not playing traditional smite. People like seeing the exact same smite they've seen for the last, like, 70 years. He's doing something different, and it freaks some people out, but it also gets them a hell of a lot of wins, so... Yeah, I mean the TP is somewhere. It's kind of where I draw the line. I think what the fuck you doing? But I don't hate it. I love seeing a bit of experimentation. But yeah, like I said, Kings. I've got Kings a pretty easy lock in here. Do you agree? There's been a few Titan fans in the chat. Back the TP. Fair enough. Sorry, one moment. So many fights lost by sports getting poked out. Very true. When the front line falls, the fight is over, man. Yeah, interesting idea. Interesting idea. Right, next one. Let's clear the old pen. Oni Dragons. We're back to the week 1 matchup. Is this the first? What were the first matchups again? 1 second. The very first game was Titans Kings. So we officially, as of this game, we're repeating games now. Yeah, I see what you mean, Alan. So this is round. Okay, I'm gonna change this fucking enormous pen. Round 2. Round 2. Fight. And this game was one of the biggest surprises. Very first game, and Kings steamrolled the Titans. Do you remember how good Ymir looked? How good Cuckoo looked? Yeah, trying to cast your mind back to that. I think we're going to see a lot of the same with that. But anyway, we're moving on to this one. Ding, ding, ding. Yeah. Blink's Thunder Frenzy, yeah. So, Leviathan's Bolts. Bolts are a really funny team to predict for, man. They're just like Renegades were last year, where you have no idea which version of them is going to show up. If the version that played against Dragons turn up, then they've got a very good shot against the Leviathans. But sometimes the version that played against, like, I can't think of an example off the top of my head, but basically the shite version turns up and they look decidedly average all of a sudden. Which is a real shame, because when they're at their best, they're really fun to watch. And when they're playing a bit dodgy, it's like, get it together. Who have you guys got for this? I am set on this. I ain't changing my vote. Because I love the Leviathans, how they're playing at the moment. I think they're playing such good smite. So I think a lot of this is going to come down to Lasborough again. I thought this year we'd see less of a reliance on Lasborough as the rest of the team sort of steps up and becomes more of a unit. But if this Ghost game is anything to go by, the reliance is still there in a pretty big way. Don't mind me just having a little doodle. Leviathans, yeah. You guys know what's up. I think, so let's think about how the Bolts win this. Lasborough shutting down Panatom and really taking the pace out of this team. Jake being really aggressive onto Rongyu, not letting Rongyu force all the fights like he does everywhere. Punishing Yarkor for being too aggressive, maybe. This was the game with the Barra, with the Yarkor solo kill onto Barra. That's what game this was in the first run around. That was one of my best moments of the league so far, in my opinion. So how do they win this? Ven and Shinto. I think Ven just has to stay alive. Yeah, I guess what they're going to want to do is pick something like Circuit again, try and shut down Panatom, take Sobek away from Rongyu, give it to Jake, or maybe pick Ares into the Sobek or something. I don't know. Try and really shut down Yarkor, give Haddox a lead in solo, let him try and solo people like you to find okay. But I don't know. I just see Leviathan's taking this, man. Jake dip, yeah. Barra getting crit diffed. Maybe. Yeah, Lasborough is someone, just get him on the comfort picks, man. Throw away the tier list. I don't want to hear it. Is it with or without Gilgamesh? I actually don't know. I off the top of my head, I'd say without. But that is by no means certain. I wonder if someone else knows. Be interesting though. I don't think we'll see Gilgamesh, but if he's available for ranked, then I guess he should be, right? So Is he available for ranked? I think he is. Yeah, exactly. They do sometimes, before they've had their first balance change to a god, not allow him in ranked. Because it's fair to say that they aren't very good at balance the first time around. I know that no, the week or two of SPL, that makes sense. I know that Bakasura is banned, but you know, who the fuck's playing Baka these days? But yeah, I've got Leviathans. Be interesting to hear if anyone disagrees, but otherwise, onto the Onis versus the Jade Dragons. This is the sort of confidence boosting week that the Dragons really need. They're playing the bottom two teams, one after the other. So if they want to play their weird picks and stick to it, now is a good time to do it, you know? Now is a good time to try out the Artemises and stuff, where you're in a game where realistically you think you can win. I think Oni style can be good against Dragons. If the Dragons aren't on it early and causing them problems, then I think Oni do have a good matchup into them. A much better matchup than most teams, but we just haven't seen Oni come together in the same way that PK did. They do the whole going behind bit, but they don't do the whole catching up afterwards bit. So yeah, I think. I imagine Persephone's still banned. I think she's going to be banned for a hot minute. I mean, it's possible she won't be, but my gut instinct says that she will be. Yeah, not sure. But yep, I've got Dragons winning this. I know it's just predicting at the moment I'm going with the huge 95% picks, but I do think Onis have a good chance here, you know. It actually would not surprise me to see Onis take this. Dragons on a bit of a slump. These guys really trying to step up, and these guys are capable. They have the team to do it. Like, it's not like they don't have the skill cap to do it. It's just that they start playing together properly. I think Dades had his best performance last week. So if we see Dades do Dades things, you know, maybe we'll see the best out of them again. But I just want to see them I think their drafting is what's really hurting them at the moment. It looked a lot better last week, but I don't know, they just look a bit lost. I've seen really 50-50 things about the Persephone rework. I think people are saying she's actually a lot more fun. People start playing and they go, oh, she sucks. And then they go, actually, she's kind of fun. But I've seen everyone say that the passive sucks. I don't even know what the passive fucking is. Yeah, Loki's permanent invis passer. Benitiades, what's up, my man? Ah, yeah, sad times. I'm just too much of a committed fan. I don't know. Has the passive changed? Is it still that she's dead after she's alive after she's dead? I think it's a weird rework. I think her play rate is going to drop through the floor. No one likes playing a god after they just feel like a worse version of the god that they got used to. And not like worse in terms of balance, but worse in terms of functionality, you know? No damage, and you can't see anyone else. What the fuck's the point of that, then? She can just place flowers. Well, what do you do? But you can place flowers all the time anyway, so it's just like doing a bit of gardening. I don't know about that Versailles. Her ult was pretty oppressive as well. So you can't like check FG in the afterlife. That's interesting. Interesting change. We'll see how it pans out. One thing I've learned is that the week one response is never very accurate. Not never, but rarely. Right, Scarabs Valkyries. Let's cast our minds back to the dizzy weeks of, I think it was week one when these guys played, and the Valks had a way higher percentage, just as they do here. But once again, I predicted the Scarabs back then, and I still predict them here. This is a story of two teams who are... This sounds like the beginning of a shit rom-com. This is the story of two teams on different trajectories. One down in the dumps, one on the rise. If you go lane by lane, let's go solo first. I think Ducky has looked okay, but once again, I'm still just waiting for him to... I know he's a really good player, so I'm waiting for him to show it. And, like, you know, do Ducky things, pop off. Have those sick games that I know you can. Whereas SOT is showing it. He's showing that he's got it. And I think we're going to see some really good play for him, especially against someone from EU. means you can play the really lane dominant gods, play the really mechanically intensive gods. I think we're going to see good play from SOT this set. Layers versus Johnny is going to be interesting. I think Johnny is more happy to sit back and kind of counterpunch, whereas Layers wants to be in your face. So it'll be interesting to see how that dynamic pans out. Baronic and Johnny, probably the two lowest tier mids in the league, so both of them will be looking for their moment to, you know, this is their moment. Okay, I've got a bit less pressure on me. I'm not being destroyed by this other person. You know, let's have a good showing here. So this is gonna be a really good like barometer for how those players are doing. Inbound Rafa, I think Rafa and Inbound play really similar styles. I think if I'm Valkyries, I don't want to get into big team fights with the Scarabs, because that's when the Scarabs look their best. I want to play guerrilla warfare, you know, pick people off, set traps, play the objectives in the way that the Kings do. Because I think Scarabs look really good when it's all hectic and it's total team fight madness, but they look really sloppy and unorganized when people are playing the map. So if I'm playing that, I'm playing guerrilla warfare and beating them. And then in the Hunters, you've got Zap versus Emil. Two people again who are looking for have really big performances, who are both thinking they can probably have a good go. This is a real throwback matchup to Eager Panthera, so you still have a lot of history. Yeah, the grabbing on was a pain in the ass. I agree. You don't think the Valks responded well to early pressure in lanes? Nope, I would agree with that. If the Scarabs show up as much against the Dragons, so Emilito fan, yeah. Well, today is a good day to be an Emilito fan, because a certain someone's just made a big video about him. You don't think they responded well to anything? Yeah, Zeros has had moments here and there, but majors on ping are tough. But I think the way the team plays isn't kind of his style. Think about how Dignitas played. They love to play around him. Put him on these late game artillery style mages. He's not really playing that at the moment. Now he's playing these scrappy style Raijin mages where he's in the fight, and that's not really his thing, I don't think. He is a class player, but he was also going to retire, so you wonder how much he's been grinding. I don't know. He seems to be playing a lot to me, but I don't know. You don't know anything behind the scenes, do you? Johnny's got, yep, exactly. Loki back. Set is basically back. After the, I mean, I say Set is back. People thought he was shit with how Shell was before, and then Layers destroyed the dragons with Set. So, you know, maybe it was a bit overblown, but with Shell changed, yeah, I think Set is going to be back on the menu, boys. It looks like Set's back on the menu, boys. Yeah, they did, yeah. Well, it's a bad time to be discussing Backer as well, because he's actually banned this week. He's got a bug, so he's not going to be playing. But yeah, I wonder if he's going to be slamming the Azula skin. It'll almost definitely be banned, but So what happened to Pele? Has she been buffed? I didn't actually read the most recent patch notes. Like a naughty boy. But yeah, to sum up on this one, I think Scarabs will want to take it into as many team fights as possible. I think that's when they look their best, when they're fighting. I think they look at their worst when they are just trying to work out what to do. So I think get them into the fights, make it scrappy and take them down. And the Valks should do the opposite. But we'll see. I think both of them, I think Valks could take this game. This is their best chance to get a game for a while. So, you know, get stuck in, lads. They looked pretty decent week one. I remember this game was actually quite close. Johnny had a really good game when these guys played before. So, yeah, interesting to see. Pele stonks. Oh, it's just because of Shell. Fair enough. You think there'll be loads of Cuckoo? There's been so much Cuckoo this year already. Like, I've already seen way more Cuckoo than I expected to see all season, to be honest with you. With the extra mana on Archmage's gem. Like a mini Book of Thoth. Interesting. I'd be interested to see if that actually takes shape. $200 more mana. Damn, that is a lot. Okay, I can see that. But yeah, we've already seen Tings look so good on it. Harwin's played it a lot as well. Yeah. Right, last game of the week. Titans Bolts. What happened? I think Bolts 2-0'd this in week 1, didn't they? Oh, that's week 8. I think I remember guessing wrong on this. Oh, it was week 2. Oh, the order's changed. That's not very helpful, is it? Titans Bolts. Did I miss it? Was it there? Am I being blind? I don't see Titans versus Bolts. Titans Scarabs. Scarabs Kings. Titans Dragon. Maybe someone in chat knows. But yeah, yeah, exactly. I mean, we saw a lot of Cuckoo right in the very early days of Smite, like literally season 0, and then nothing, nothing there. Think we see Anubis? No, I do not. Magus Life Seal is nice and all, but I think you can give him 1 or 2 more good items and you still won't see him. With how the fights are going, crit in the meta. I mean, like, what if he starts ulting and an ADC just starts out damaging him? Yeah, I think Book is an underrated item, you know. I think you get goals so quickly at the moment that you get your builds online really quickly. So I think Book has been less of a hindrance than it was before. It used to be one of those things we didn't finish it until like 15 minutes into the game, and then it's like, yeah, the game's already decided at that point. So, but now you get it online so quickly that, you know. Click on the schedule in the teams tab. Oh, interesting. Also, Bolts haven't played Titans yet. What? No wonder I couldn't remember how it went. They've not played each other. So how are we repeating games if they've not played each other yet? That's interesting. First time we'll see these two face off. It's a good time for Titans to face them because this is an inconsistent team, man. These are one of those teams that can beat the best and lose to the worst at the same time. So, yeah, Book is cheap now as well. Yeah, so that's the thing with Bolts. Bolts are so hard to predict. You never know how they're going to turn up. I've got Bolts clicked in just because they're the sort of easy one, but this is this is a bit of a toss-up, really. Oh, by the way, it starts SPL starts tomorrow on a Thursday. I don't know if you guys were aware, because we've got more games this week, an extra day. Titans Bolts. Oh, now I'm questioning myself. How can I see this going? I think Bolts have to be comfortable favourites, but it would not surprise me to see Titans win this. Would not surprise me. When you say ban out Lasbro, what are you banning? Calling a Bolts cold day? You love a big SPL week. Well, I think they're big SPL weeks from here on out. I think, yeah, all of them are big weeks from now on. Yeah, it's a nice little pattern, isn't it? That's perfect. Poogies. So who have you guys got? I'm hovering dramatically. We've had predictions for Bolts having a cold day, Bolts winning. Titans for Velasco. Yeah, I remember you saying you rated their backline a lot, so I can't say I'm surprised. Surprised. You went Titans, but you think either could easily win. Fair enough. Yeah, I think this is gonna. Oh, whoops! This is gonna be a really good game. A really good game for the Titans as well to decide where they are, because they were like 0-3 and now they're 3-3, so they've really shot up the standings. I want to see if they can stand up to the aggression from Jake. I want to see if Raw is going to do a Raw things, if Scary D is going to step up. If they win that, then they can be really... You know how at the beginning I said that... where's my pen gone? I said that we had the top 3 as like their own step above the rest. Then we had the Bolts in their own little category. And then you had like these 4 in kind of the bottom end category with these 2 as like the up and comers. We could see... If the Titans beat the Bolts, it shifts to kind of more of this dynamic where you've got the top 3 and then the 4th and 5th, and then these 3 scrapping out at the bottom. Titans elevating themselves out of that. I mean, they are underperforming, as are the Warriors, for their team comp, so it would not surprise me to see them turn out on any week. Right, I'm going to get something loaded up in the background while you guys discuss what you think, because I'm always intrigued to hear what you guys have to say, because this is where you get to get your predictions in, and if you get it right, you know, you can say to everyone, I've got video proof that I got this right. God, I keep getting emails and it stresses me out because every time I think it's just another copyright strike on my video, because that is a very common thing. You can't see what's loading up right now, but let me tell you, it's the good shit. You went times, so you think you could win, yeah. Only Warriors beating Jade this week. It's actually possible. I think they've got a good matchup. I think they're going to do it. But right, boys, it's time for some marbles. It's time for some marbles. That's what I've been loading up secretly in the background, because I have a Merlin skin I gave to someone in a giveaway, but he hasn't responded and he hasn't messaged me for it. So I've got a Fun Guy Merlin skin to give away. Oh, I think I need to sign in. Oops, sorry. Marbles the wrong good. No, marbles. Right, okay, boys. Let me get this on. Bam, marbles are here. Race. Let's pick a nice long one. The gauntlet number 2. That sounds good. Race. Oh, wait, I haven't just started this race, have I? Okay, right. Exclamation mark play to join. we can do the we can do that because you're gonna win again, so. Right. This is for a Fun Guy Merlin skin. And I'm not sure. I've got a list of 4 codes and I've given 3 of them away. So if I send you the code and it doesn't work, let me know, because one of them does. I need to need to work out which one. Rigged. I mean, the person who won this last time did type in rigged play and won. So right, is that everyone? You have 10 seconds to go exclamation mark play to get in. I always wait like I'm a big streamer and I've got loads of people waiting to get in, but there's only like yeah, it's my shirt. Big up. That was you. I thought it might have been. I didn't want to just say it was you. Right, I haven't used this since the last time I did it on stream, so let's start. Oh, it starts in 10. It's such a fucking cock tease. Can you hear anything? Dung dung dung. I don't know how to spectate this, so brace yourself for chaos. Where are they? Oh, what the hell? What is this? Oh my god, they're all scooting for the big bumhole. There they go. They're circling the anus. Oh, it's so tense. No one's ready to take the plunge. They're in. Right in the anus. Little Versailles in the lead. It's a really good start for the lad. Hypers on the Vampers on, oh, the Vampers hacking is working again. The boost is working for the 2nd time. Hey, I'm in 4th. That's like the highest up I've ever been on a race. 3rd. Wait, who's this? Someone's gone rogue over here. Vampir's just gone rogue. He's gone backwards. Versailles is back in the running. I'm in 2nd. Host luck. Versailles is just running away with it at the moment. He's in the spinner. He's in the flump. The rest of the people are slack. There's people coming down there, I can see, so they are slacking big time. Oh, but now there's another bumhole to circle, and I've jumped in straight into the anus. Unbelievable scenes. Oh, Versailles taking over again. This map is stressful, man. Oh, you can't see the standings. Oh, which ball is which? Nightmare. Wait. There you go. Sorry, that was awful. Awful streamage from my... I'm winning! I looked away and I'm winning. Unbelievable scenes. I've never won a marbles race, so... This could be my crowning glory here. I give myself the code. 50 versus Versailles, yeah. Oh my god. But it's not over yet. Vampire is right on my ass. Using his boost. Oh my god, his boost! There comes the boost! Oh, but you hit me. You sent me flying. You saved me. Oh my god, it is neck and neck. God, how am I so good at marbles? Yeah, he's still last. Well, I think there's like 15 people in the race. You're not technically last. Oh my god, this is so tense. Vamper, you slipped, and I've just snuck across there. Look at me go. Yeah, I win. I won. Oh, who was that? Matt. Matt just went fucking fly. Vamper, what happened? Where did you all go? I can't believe it. I'm so good. I knew I'd choose this map for a reason. Here comes Velasco. Oh, Scott. Scott and Militiades just leapt to their deaths. Oh my god, we're only going to have like a max of 5 finishers. Rigged. Well, Militiades, you just leapt at you went admirably to your death. Here comes Versailles. That's 3rd place who's just crawled in there. Hyper's making his way down slowly. Here comes the jump. Oh, textbook stuff. Well done. So it looks like we're actually going to have 5 whole finishes. How did you show that? It was going so well for you, and then you just like disappeared. Hyper slotting into 4th. And then now the wait for you. No rush, buddy. No rush. Do you take your time? Ah. I bow. It's all too easy. All too easy. So, yeah, you fucking... You guys just leapt to the edge. And I respect it, frankly. I really do respect it. What does that mean, the thing? Well, it was close one. Only 5 people finished. So, wait. Was Velasco second? I swear Velasco didn't come second. I thought someone else came second. But, yeah, well, I guess I'm giving myself the code for my heart. No. Second place gets the code. Send me a whisper. I'm going to say yo in the chat so you can whisper me and I'll send you the code. Let me know if it doesn't work and I'll fix it. But otherwise, I see right through that. You missed marbles and you missed a hell of a race, Seth. Like, do you see that? Do you see that right there? I've got people outside the window trying to take photos. No, please. I'm only human. Yeah, sorry, lad. Next time. Right. I'll sort out the code afterwards, Velasco. So here are my predictions for the week. Let me just close marbles quickly. Marbles on stream is off. Let me just quickly change them. Quickly check something. But yeah, those are my predictions for the week. I don't know how much you can see. I'll scroll down so you can scroll up so you can see the rest. Right. Oh yeah, shit, you're right. Ah, well. Everyone else missed that chat for a bit, but who cares? Anyway, thanks for the stream, lads. That's good fun. Those are my predictions for the week. Can't wait to be wrong horribly again, but I feel like this is one of the easier weeks. I feel like I smell the viewer points coming on this one. Smells good. But yeah, cheers for hanging out, lads. Watch the video if you haven't already. I've got a second channel now. Let me quickly plug the second channel quickly. Let me get the Betty from my esports. Let me just do it. The number 2 channel, because it's going to have stuff like, I mean, I don't really need to recommend it to you guys because you guys are already here, so you guys are going to see the sort of stuff that goes up on there. Copy. Right, let me slam this in the chat arena. Go Subaru if you haven't already. I'm sure you have because you're good humans. Subscribe, yeah, I love that. She was taking you're a great great plug. Go watch Emma video, yeah. Honestly, Warriors versus Kings surprised me. The 66% owner. Yeah, me too, man. Me too. Watch it twice for the ad revenue. Exactly. All right, cheers, guys. Thanks for hanging out, and I will drop me a follow if you haven't, so you see if I go live. And otherwise, see you later. See you later, boys.